Daddy. Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. Got another Knights of the Old Republic 2 video for you. Today we are going to be covering upgrading your lightsaber. Woohoo! We'll be talking about upgrades, how to craft them, and of course crystals. What they do, where they could be, and which ones you'll want to look for. We will also be talking about the modifiers the crystals offer and how they will ultimately be helping you. I'll be sure to show you how I build my sabers, as well as offer some good recommendations. So without any further ado, let's dive into it. There are 4 main components to your lightsaber, which are all interchangeable, offering you a variety of ways to customize your build. There's an energy cell, an emitter, a lens, and crystals. There are 2 types of crystals. One is just for color crystals, offering 10 different colors. We will cover those in just a minute. The other crystals will have modifiers for damage or skills and whatnot. Your lightsaber will have 6 upgrade slots, 1 for each of the 4 components, with the exception of the crystals, which have a hefty 2 extra slots. 1 for color, and 2 just for modifier upgrades. Crystals cannot be crafted and have to be found or purchased. They also spawn randomly each playthrough, so you'll have to get lucky when looting. The crystal cave on Dantooine will yield you the most crystals for free. There are also various merchants around the planets that will be slinging saber crystals and occasionally other saber parts, if you can't craft them. The other 3 parts, the energy cell, emitter, and lens, can all be crafted at the workbench, provided you have the components and the required skill level. With the exception of the personal force crystal, crystals cannot be upgraded or broken down. They come as is and stay that way. Workbenches can be found throughout the game, usually at least 1 per planet, with the larger ships also having them. You do have one conveniently located in the Ebonhawk, but you will need to venture to another one if you need to use another companion's skill set to craft an upgrade. Speaking of skills, let's cover those real quick. Upgrades will require you to have a certain skill to a minimum level to be able to craft that upgrade. For example, let's use the Discharge Energy Cell. To craft a regular Discharge Energy Cell, it will only require for you to have your Demolition skill up to level 5. If you wanted the upgraded version, the Improved Discharge Energy Cell, its minimum demolition level requirement is 13. And same for the upgraded version of that one. A Superior Discharge Energy Cell would require a minimum demolitions level of 21. You can also take advantage of your companion skill here. If I didn't level my main character up in demolitions, but I had Bao-Dur leveled up to 21 in demolitions, I could use Bao-Dur to craft that item for me. That way, I can still level the skills that I want for my main character, and then I can just have dedicated companions for certain skills. Here's what skill I would suggest you level up for each companion. Atton, Security. Bao-Dur, Demolitions. Disciple, Awareness and Treat Injury. Handmaiden, Awareness and Treat Injury. Visa, Awareness and Stealth. Kreia, Treat Injury and Stealth. T3-M4, Computer Use and Security. HK-47, Repair and Awareness. Mira, Demolitions and Repair. And that still leaves Goto and Mandalore to level up if you need another companion leveled up in a certain skill. Using this method just ensures you level up your main character how you want and not have to upgrade a skill just so you can craft an item. And so here's a method that I came across to help you get components and credits so you'll have an easier time crafting your upgrades. So first off, do not break down items for components. Instead, sell them for credits. We will have more components and credits this way. Expensive upgrades can cost between 400 and 500 components to create. So we can figure about 800 to 1,000 components for 2 of the best upgrades. We will want to find a merchant who sells infinite advanced medkits, meaning the merchant will always have them and we can't buy them all. These medpacks cost 80 credits each and break down into 4 components, giving you one of the best component to cost ratios. To get 1,000 components, you will need 250 advanced medpacks. At 80 credits apiece, this brings you to 20,000 credits. By the end of the game, you should have been able to accrue around 100,000 credits, especially if you sold everything you weren't using. Maybe a little more. So using this method, that ensures that we can craft at least 10 of the best upgrades in the game. So with the basics covered, let's go over the components and what they do. And first off, I would like to apologize for the absolute slaughtering of the names that I will be providing here, but we will try our best for sure. And I'd just like to say how stupid the naming tier here is, just because they'll name one way and then give another upgrade a whole different set of names, even though it only has 3 tiers, just like the one before. And instead of improved and superior, now it's synthesized and pure. It's not the best, so it's a little frustrating, but hopefully the visuals here will help you out. We will start with the energy cells. There are 4 types of energy cells. First, we have the discharge energy cell, having 3 tiers to the component: standard, improved, and superior. The modifiers on these guys offer you a massive critical of 1 to 3 with the standard, and a whopping 1 to 8 with the superior discharge energy cell. This cell will require knowledge in the demolition skill and is the cheapest of the energy cells to craft component-wise. Secondly, we have the diatium energy cell. This energy cell, having 4 tiers, standard, improved, superior, and ultimate. The modifiers for these energy cells will give you a damage bonus of +1 with the standard and up to +5 with the ultimate version. You will need the computer use skill to craft these bad boys, and this energy cell is the only energy cell to have 4 tiers in its level. Next, we have the ion energy cell. This energy cell is very effective against droids, and it has 3 parts to its damage modifiers. First off is damage bonus, the ion kind. Ion damage is good for droids. None offered at the standard level, but a super ion will give you +2 ion damage. Next is damage bonus versus droids. First level offers 1 to 4 ion damage against droids, with level 3 offering 1 to 12 ion damage. Lastly, it also improves our massive criticals. Level 1 offering 1 to 4, and level 3 offering 1 to 6. This upgrade needs a security skill to craft. Lastly, we have the Telgorn Jolt Cell. Coming in with 3 tiers, Mark 1, 2, and 3. Modifiers here are damage bonus, 1 to 3 electrical at Mark 1, and 1 to 8 electrical at Mark 3. The Telgorn Jolt Cell needs the demolition skill to be crafted and is the most costly of the 4 energy cells to craft. Now we'll move on to emitters. There are also only 4 types of emitters. First up, we have the deflection emitter, my favorite out of the emitters. Nothing more badass than deflecting blaster fire away like a damn boss. This emitter has 3 tiers, standard, improved, and expert, offering 2 modifiers, 1 in defense bonus, none at level 1, but +1 for the improved and expert. Next is blaster bolt deflection. Level 1 offering +1 and up to +4 with the expert. You will need the repair skill to craft these ones, and these ones are the cheapest of the emitters to be crafted. Secondly, we have the disrupting emitter. Also having 3 tiers, being standard, advanced, and superior. For modifiers, they offer a defense bonus of -1 at all levels, so this is actually a penalty against you rather than a boosting defense. It's simply just a trade-off for the on-hit properties. Real quick right here, this DC here refers to the difficulty class. To sum it up, it has to do with your skill level, plus the outcome of a 20-sided die. Similar to D&D, that's the way the whole game works, and that's why your attacks sometimes miss, and sometimes you have to security a container twice to get it to open. But we're not here to explain gameplay mechanics. This offers the chance to slow 25% for 2 rounds at level 1, and stun 25% for 3 rounds at level 3. It will also take use of the repair skill. Next, we have the Phobium emitter, coming in with 4 tiers. Having a modifier in the form of a penalty towards defense bonus, -3 for the first 3 levels, and level 4 having a better -1 defense. Offering a chance to slow 25% for 2 rounds at level 1, and slow 50% for 3 rounds at level 4. This emitter will also take use of the repair skill. I cannot honestly recommend these last 2 emitters, the Disrupting and the Phobium, as I believe the other 2 just have more and better to offer. Unless you are specifically looking for the chance to slow or stun your opponent, I would recommend an emitter with better modifiers. Lastly, for the emitters, we have the Fencing emitter. Having 3 tiers, standard, improved, and expert. First modifier is for defense bonus, +1 for level 1, and +2 for the next 2 levels. This emitter has a penalty against blaster bolt deflection, -2 for the first 2 levels, and then the expert fencing emitter does not have this penalty. A damage bonus for all levels, +1 for level 1, and +3 for level 3. This emitter also requires the use of the repair skill and is the most expensive of the emitters to craft. Looks like every emitter used the repair skill. Alright, now we'll move on to lenses. With a large 8 different types of lenses, 4 of the lenses come with 1 tier and level. so they can still be crafted, just not upgraded. We will cover those ones first. The Atigan lens offers a damage bonus of 1 to 12 and requires the awareness skill to craft. Next we have the Dragite lens. The Dragite lens offers a damage bonus of +2 and requires the awareness skill to craft. Followed by the Ozus dueling lens, offering 2 modifiers. One is an attack modifier of +2, and also a blaster bolt deflection of +3. This lens will require a treat injury level 25 to create. Lastly, for the single tier lenses, we have the Ponite lens, having an attack modifier of +1 and also a damage bonus of 2 to 12. This one utilizes the awareness skill. Now for the other 4 lenses. The Barothesis lens is the only one to have 3 tiers in level, synthesized, pure, and enhanced, adding 3 modifiers. First one for an attack, +1 at level 1 and +3 at level 3. Penalized towards blaster bolt deflection, -2 at level 1 and -4 at level 3. It does offer a damage bonus of +1 at level 1 and +4 at level 3. This lens also requires the awareness skill to be crafted. Next up, we have the Beam Gem lens. 2 tiers, standard and improved. The improved version offers a +1 attack at level 2, a damage bonus of 1 at level 1, 2 at level 2, and is keen for critical threat. Keen means the critical threat range is doubled, so keen is good and should be considered for your build. This one will take use of the computer use skill. Next up is the Kunda lens. Having 2 tiers, synthesized and pure, this offers a blaster bolt deflection of +1 at level 1 and +2 at level 2. The pure Kunda lens will also add +1 to attack and requires the treat injury skill to craft. Lastly, for the lenses, we have the Vibration lens, having 2 tiers, standard and improved. This lens has an attack and defense penalty of -1 for both levels, but offers a damage bonus of 1 to 8 at level 1 and 2 to 12 at level 2. This lens will also need the computer use skill to craft. Done with the lenses. Nice. Now let's move on to crystals. Woohoo! Color crystals are pretty self-explanatory. The color of the crystal will change the color of your lightsaber blade, or I guess the beam would be more accurate. You have your standard colors, of course, blue, green, red, violet, and yellow. But alternatively, they have quite a few unique colors: bronze, cyan, orange, silver, and viridian. These all spawn randomly with a few exceptions. There's always a viridian crystal in the Onderon Museum, and an orange crystal in one of the footlockers at the Sith Temple on Korriban. I believe Gita on Nar Shaddaa also always has a yellow crystal. I have also heard a rumor where if you do the trade route quest for him, he will start selling a silver crystal, but I have not confirmed this. You could use the save reload technique until you get the desired color crystal you want. So some quests give you a color crystal when you complete them, and they randomly give you the color. So when you come across one, simply save before finishing the quest, then complete the quest and get your color crystal. If it's color you don't want, simply reload and complete the quest again, trying it a different color that's more to your liking. It's not the most effective method, but if you really hate yellow, it might be a quick fix for you. On to the big boy crystals. Let's first cover the main character crystal, also referred to as the name crystal as it will have your main character's name in the name. You will also find the main character crystal in the Crystal Cave on Dantooine. You can take the crystal of Kreia when it is not in your lightsaber, and Kreia will refocus it to your current alignment. The greater your alignment with the light side or dark side, depending on your role this playthrough, the greater the stats the crystal will offer. We won't get too far into this, but looking at the chart here, you can see that the higher level your main character is, the higher the stats you'll receive. The crystal will reflect your alignment, so if you are dark side, crystal will be black. Light side will be white, and if you're neutral, it will keep it a nice gray color. For a light sider, it will offer more damage against dark side opponents, and for a dark sider, it will add critical damage bonus. As you get more aligned with your chosen side, periodically take the crystal back to Kreia for refocusing. She will refocus it if your alignment or level have changed sufficiently. You will also no longer be able to have Kreia refocus the crystal after you have found the last of the Lost Jedi, so be sure to do so before you find the last one. The main character crystal is without a doubt one of the best crystals as it grows in strength as you grow in level. And it is also the only crystal that is technically upgradable. So now onto the rest of the crystals. Not including the main character crystal, there are still 25 other crystals offering modifier bonuses. We will not cover all of them, but I will throw them all up right here for you to see. A handful of these will be found in the same spot or sold by the same trader, but for the most part, we can say almost all the good ones spawn randomly. You can use the save reload technique for modifier crystals in some parts of the game where you get those for completing the quests. As you can see, some offer damage boosters and some offer points towards a skill, and some do both. A good chunk of these are pretty basic and only offer a slight boost, but they are still good off the bat when you have no crystal upgrades at all. So use what you come by until you can come across some of the super awesome ones. The Kixoni and the Solari crystals are pretty top notch in what they offer, but they are the only two limited to one side. The Solari is for light side users, and the Quixoni crystal is for dark side users. The Quixoni crystal is not randomly spawned and can be attained from trading a starport visa with someone in the Onderon Cantina. Definitely don't pass this one up if you're going the dark side route. Let's cover some of my favorites, starting with the Furkron crystal. This one offers some major damage output as well as is the best saber crystal against droids. And you fight a ton of droids, so definitely consider this one. The Barab or Ingot Crystal and the Hurricane Crystal are some community favorites for their beefy amounts of damage. Especially the Hurricane Crystal, as its damage is unstoppable. Two more I think worth mentioning are the Genrox Crystal for its awesome +5 to blaster bolt deflection. You know how I love that stuff. Lastly, I'll mention the Kyber Crystal, as I believe it is the best crystal for boosting skills and regeneration. I will argue that the Ankara Sapphire Crystal could be better for that, as it is a keen crystal, and you definitely want something keen in your build. I apologize if I didn't cover one of your favorite crystals, but these are the ones that I always keep my eyes out for. The beautiful thing about having so many options is, holy shit, look at how many options I have. You could build your lightsaber 100 different ways, definitely more. It's your playthrough and your save file, build that shit perfectly to your liking. Alright friends, we've covered all the components for the lightsaber. Now let's talk more about a few different build styles. So of course, you can mix and match builds and upgrades to get exactly what works for you, but there are a few build styles that are worth looking into. You could build your lightsaber towards attack and damage output, defense, skill boosting, blaster bolt deflection, my favorite, droid damage. I'm sure we could make a few more build styles, but these four should cover pretty much everything. So I'll tell you what I like to do. Personally, granted that I have all my desired crystals and upgrades, what I'll do is I'll take that defense and skill boosting build style, and I'll throw it out the window. Get that shit out of here. That's what robes and armor are for. We're here to deal heavy damage. I'm a sucker for dual wielding, and I will do so any chance I get. This also lets me focus one lightsaber on damage output and then the other lightsaber on blaster bolt deflection. I also try to get some droid damage on my damage output saber, as I will say about half of your fights are against droids, so it's not something that should be overlooked. My ultimate best build is dual wielding sabers in slot 1, one saber solely focused on blaster bolt deflection and then the other geared towards droid damage. And then in my weapon 2 slot I'll have a dual bladed lightsaber with the most damage output on it that I can get, and that one's for meat bags and biologicals. You could also do 2 sets of dual wielded lightsabers and have one set for droid damage and blaster bolt deflection, and then have your second set, one for regular non-droid damage and the second one offering blaster bolt deflection or maybe even some defense boosting. Here, I will share you my build if I could have only one lightsaber and not the 14 that I will end up with. So one lightsaber through the whole playthrough. It would be green or violet for color, depending on my current mood, I guess. Superior Ion Energy Cell, Expert Deflection Emitter, Improved Beam Gem Lens for the Keen, topped off with the Hurricane Crystal and the main character crystal. That is the lightsaber that I would build if I had to settle for just having one lightsaber throughout the whole playthrough. Let me know some of your favorite build combinations down below. Also, don't forget about your companions. Get them converted to Jedi, and then get them lightsabers so you can beef them up as well. You can give them your old hand-me-down parts that you don't need anymore. There are so many options and combinations, you can play through multiple times and use a different build style each time. I hope this helped some of you out, or at least provided some more depth on the subject. Be sure to let me know down below what you guys are using, and feel free to comment with any questions. Should hopefully have some more content coming out here soon. If this video helped you out and you want to see more, go ahead and get subscribed, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks for coming around and checking out the video and showing your support. I've linked my sources to where I got all this information down below if you want to check those out too. So we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Do not harm her. I command it.